Good evening, my name is Garrett, and welcome to The Last Call. Tonight's final drink is an interesting one. This is Pabst Blue Ribbon Whiskey. This is interesting enough because, A, it's a brewery that is getting into the whiskey scene, but bigger yet is that they've aged it for 5 seconds. For something to be called whiskey, it has to be aged somewhat. And, Pabst gets on the phone, calls up the TTB, and they go, well, how long does it have to be aged? And they go, as long as you want. I mean, you do what you want to do. And they go, fine, 5 seconds. No, but interesting enough, we've seen some of the breweries getting into whiskeys. More recently, Arrogant Bastard does beer and things like that. And they released this. This one has been aged in first 26 months. When that review goes live, definitely check it out above. I'm excited about trying that one out. But the interesting thing that I think about this is their mash blend. So it's 52% corn, 27% malted barley, 17% wheat, and 4% rye. So I'm happy that they told us what's on here, but the cooler thing is, once this gets some age on it, they have a 4-grain whiskey, which is what I think they're actually doing here. I believe that they're doing this kind of for publicity reasons, get their name into the whiskey scene, and say, they're trying to be coy here with their aged 5 seconds, trying to get some people interested in them. I'm going to predict that we will see a 4-grain whiskey done by them here in the next couple years after they get some aging done. One thing to note, that this comes in at a 40% ABV. Either way, essentially this is a new make, except for it's 5 seconds. Does the 5 seconds make a difference? I don't know. I'm no expert in that field. Either way, as we always know, we're going to try this 2 different ways. First way, we're going to go neat, no ice, no water. Second way, we'll add a few drops of water, see what changes up. It's Pabst. I mean, as soon as I seen this, and I was like, all right, I got to give it a try. It's a cork even. And when we get to the market pricing section, well, this surprised me. I expected this to be a screw top bottle, and, that's it. Now, in Pabst's defense, on their website, they do say, don't drink this neat. Don't drink it like that. This is meant to be a mixer. So, again, I like the transparency of them. I'm giving them huge props in that field because, again, to tell us blank, here's what's in this is interesting enough for me. And then to take it another step and saying, hey, don't be drinking this neat. But I am, because I'm a rebel like that. I mean, honestly, if I better not get these two confused. I mean, they are both crystal clear. I mean, it is just the clearest of clear, and that's a new make. Buffalo Trace does a new make as well. They call it White Dog, I think. Considered picking up a small bottle of that to try. But your moonshines and your completely distilled spirit like this is more for knowledge and not necessarily big for selling purposes. Either way, let's talk about notes. So on the nose, you can tell it's grain heavy. It's definitely grain forward. You get that musty corn smell a little bit. But there's actually some sweetness there too, like lemon, maybe citrus in general, grapefruit even. You get that little sharpness of a lemon or grapefruit kind of note to it. It almost vaguely, I've seen some other people talk about this, it vaguely reminds me of gin. And not like, oh, this got juniper and coriander and things like that, but just that kind of sharpness that gin has. I could see this being mistaken for a gin at first nose, besides the corn heaviness. But yeah, I mean, it's actually, the nose, there's no ABV on the nose. And it's quite just fragrantly light. It really kind of surprises me. Okay, let's go for taste. Even the taste. ABV is not super strong. It shows up a little bit on there. You get that funky note, that musty corn funkiness going on. But you still get that sharpness from the lemon on there. The palate kind of goes dry a little bit. And you kind of left with that musty corn funk note. I mean, it's not bad. It honestly isn't. But that you do get that bit of lemon left over. And I think it's definitely leaning more into that lemon versus grapefruit or other fruits in general. But even then, my mouth is still thinking partly gin. Honestly, there is a lot of reminiscence to me in gin in this one. I'm a big gin fan, so I've had quite a few different ones. If it wasn't for that funky corn note, I would have thought this was a gin, like a weird kind of different kind of gin. But honestly, I mean, it's not super complex. It's interesting though, because again, that bit of citrus going on there, this corn note going, little grassy note, little earthiness going on there. It's different enough that it's not bad. And that's kind of the interesting part that I think's kind of throwing me for a loop. It's Pabst Blue Ribbon. They're kind of being coy with the whole age 5 seconds kind of bit. But it's actually not too bad. And that's what makes me think that they're doing this and then they're aging a lot of stuff. They're doing this for funsies and kind of pushing this out to the market to see if there's people interested. And then we're going to see them actually jump aboard going, hey, here's our actual 3-year-old whiskey, 5-year-old whiskey, whatever. But that musty corn note is got a decent linger there. It's like I just took a sip of it. It's still in my palate and everything. It's very interesting. I can see why they would blatantly tell people, hey, this isn't meant to be drank neat. Because that musty corn note can be kind of off-putting a little bit. The first time I had it, I was like, I'm not a big fan of that. Coming back to it after a couple times, I'm like, okay, I see what they're doing though. And again, Pabst is being honest. They flat out told me, don't drink it neat. And what am I doing? That's what happens when you're a rebel. Add a few drops of water, see what changes up. Now, this is going to get confusing real quick if I'm not careful. Okay. Water's going way over there. So the watered version, beautiful citrus going on. So much more. That musty corn note's almost gone on the nose. It's still there lightly, but very much that sharpness that a lemon gives you. And almost, again, that sour note that the corn brings almost makes you feel like it's a grapefruit. But it's not bad. Let's go for taste. Actually, that's pretty damn good. Wow. I like that. That is... Oh, man. That musty note's almost completely gone on the taste. It is. It's almost like a gin. It's got this bit of vibrance, this bit of citrus going on. That lemon bit, you still get a bit of that grain on the taste, but nothing of that funky corn note. As always, I don't do the water tasting except for right here, right now. I don't try that one ahead of time. Oh, that's so interesting. Still get a bit of that grassy note, that little bit of earthiness to it. But if that isn't that's pretty darn good. I'm surprised on how much that changed with a few drops of water. It just completely, the mustiness. Yeah, the ABV doesn't show up at all. This is actually pretty decent. I can see why putting this in I think on their website they talked about doing an old fashioned. I could see that being good with it, especially giving you those citrus notes. I can see this being good in a highball. I can see it being good with just some 7-Up. Let's do a 7-7 essentially. That's really good. Okay, let's talk about market price, because we all know market price is market price. I was actually able to pick this up for $20. I've seen it a couple different places, and they all have it for $20 in my region. It seems to be very selected areas, or it's up to the shop itself about buying it. I found 2 different locations that are selling this. $19.99 flat rate. And to be honest, for $20, I've done worse. For $20, I've done worse. Would I pay a big premium for this just because of the name and the story and stuff? No, don't. Like, if you find this and you're interested in something unique, try it. It's not a bad buy at all. If it's, over $30, $50, I don't know of anywhere that's selling it for those prices, but if they are, don't do it. It's not worth that. But for a $20 bottle, I like it. I'm actually really freaking surprised. I did not expect the love for this after trying it my first couple times. I thought, okay, it's not bad, but adding that water, that's the way to go. Though, as we all know, it doesn't matter what you drink or how you drink it, as long as you enjoy it. But I feel like this one shines brightly in just a few drops of water. So yeah, there you have it. Pabst Blue Ribbon Whiskey. Now, if you have any questions about the bottle itself, feel free to drop it down in the comment section below. I will do my best to answer. And as always, if you have any specific spirits you would like me to review, let me know down below as well. I'm always looking for something new and exciting to try. And as always, may your last drink of the night be the best one.